rehearsals, lack of stage crew, and budget, the show must go on. Okay, well, we're ready to begin, so on with the show.
He sat by the window, playing the violin. A lonely figure depicted, indeed, the great Sherlock Holmes, isolated from the world. His brilliance and genius lay in being an outcast from society. It would seem... Snow had begun to fall in London, like a fresh, blank piece of paper, waiting for Holmes to begin scribbling clues and deductions for his next big case. He would not have to wait long.
Ah, I didn't hear you, Mrs. Hudson.
Are you still staring out that window, Mr. Holmes?
Yes, Mrs. Hudson. After all, what is it they say? A window of opportunity.
I brought you some nice hot tea.
Thank you, Mrs. Hudson.
I read about your last case in the paper this morning. The one about the dogs and the basket wheels. Yes.
You mean the Hound of the Baskervilles, yes?
Yes.
Yes, a tricky case, but nothing I cannot conclude with a simple powers of deduction.
Come in. When we stop by the fire.
Good afternoon, Holmes. Mrs. Hudson.
Come in. When we stop by the fire.
Lovely.
Ah, Watson.
Would you like some tea, Dr. Watson?
Oh, splendid idea, Mrs. Hudson. Splendid idea. Oh, son of a...
What? Things you hear on this Sunday morning, Dr. Watson?
Well, this afternoon, I received...
Allow me, Watson. This afternoon, you received a telegram from Scotland Yard asking you to meet at Baker Street at exactly 1 o'clock, and you took Brick Lane to get here.
Extraordinary, Holmes. How did you know?
On your right arm, there are traces of navy blue ink upon it. This type of blue ink is hard to come by in the general public, but not in government offices such as Scotland Yard. I assume the meeting is at 1 o'clock. It's precisely 1 minute to 1, and you being an ex-military serviceman are always punctual and arrive just before the designated time.
But how did you know I took Brick Lane?
There's a yellow stain on your lapel. This yellow texture comes in custard tarts, and the closest bakery to here is Primrose Bakery, located on Brick Lane.
Bravo, Holmes.
Perhaps you should ready more tea, Mrs. Hudson, as Inspector Lestrade is about to enter through this door in 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1.
Ah, Inspector Lestrade, just as you said, Holmes.
Yes, indeed. Morning, Mr. Holmes and Dr. Watson.
It's afternoon, Inspector.
Yes, afternoon.
Let me take your coat, Inspector.
Coat! Coat. Thank you, Mrs. Hudson. That would be splendid, Mrs. Hudson. Thank you.
What can I do for you, Inspector Lestrade?
Yes, Mr. Holmes, there has been a murder.
Stage manager. You were saying, Inspector?
Yes, Doctor. There has been a murder.
Obviously. Why else would you be here?
Please, Inspector, come have a seat.
Thank you. We need your help, Holmes. The murder took place at Wicken House, and unfortunately, we don't have any obvious leads.
The world is full of obvious things, which nobody by any chance ever observes.
When did the murder happen?
We suspect it happened sometime between 3 a.m. and 4 a.m. in the afternoon.
Were there any signs of a struggle?
Were there any signs of struggle? Hey, line.
Nothing that indicates foul play.
Nothing that indicates foul play.
Seems rather odd.
So, how did she die?
He.
Die?
Well, if I knew that, Mrs. Hudson, I would not be here.
Indeed. How many people are in the house?
How many people? Line.
4.
There were 4.
Including the body.
Including Bobby.
The body!
The body! That's right. Including the body.
What's it?
Yes. Please, Mrs. Hudson.
Dr. Watson.
Of course. Count me in.
Inspector?
Yes.
Is the body still there?
Yes. We told them to leave everything as it were.
And who exactly is the deceased?
Professor Trimori! He works at the university teaching mathematics.
Mathematics! The abstract science of numbers!
Inspector?
Huh?
Perhaps there was some evidence left behind?
Yes, evidence. That would be right here. Here. It's somewhere here. Somewhere. Here it is.
The writing is on the wall.
What does it say, Holmes?
That's what it says. The writing is on the wall.
Strange. To use a famous quotation and play out its literal meaning?
Not strange. Clever.
You're onto something, aren't you?
Always, my dear Watson.
Tough up.
Of course, Mrs. Hudson.
Yes, according to our sources, the murder had taken place at Wicken House, and the professor had only been lodging there for 1 week.
Stop up.
No, I really shouldn't. I've already had. Of course. That would be lovely, Mrs. Hudson.
Who owns the house?
Ah, yes, a Miss Irene Adler.
A lady of nobility tea.
Am I to assume that the other two in the house is Miss Adler's partner and perhaps a maid?
Yes, that's correct. One maid and her partner, Charles!
I say, Holmes, how did you know about the maid and the partner?
Every noble house in London has at least one maid, and a lady of nobility who have at least one partner hanging on to secure appearance. Says.
Inspector, were there any signs of breaking or entering?
Yes.
No.
No.
That means the killer must be one of the occupants of the house. Ouch. Damn, tea everywhere. What?
Oh, dear Dr. Watson. Oh, my God!
Get off!
You were saying, Dr. Watson?
Yes. If there were no signs of breaking or entering, then the killer must be one of the occupants of the house.
So it would seem.
What's he, anyone?
No!
Holmes, the hours are ticking. Perhaps we should hasten to the scene of the crime before any crucial evidence is disturbed.
You're absolutely right, Watson. There's not a moment to lose. Come, Watson, the game's afoot.
But...
Afternoon. Oh, bright. Oh, afternoon, Irene.
Charles.
Irene.
Charles?
Irene.
Charles, the professor's death came so sudden. I don't know what to do.
Oh, no, here, come. Let me calm your nerves.
I don't know how it'll go on.
There, it's not that bad. I mean, he's just dead. Still snowing harder, I see.
Yes, I hate the cold nights.
Yes. Yes, they're cold.
Charles, would you mind pouring me a glass of wine, please?
Of course. Red or white?
Red.
What about white?
Yes, white would be divine.
Sorry, could you repeat
Yes,
that?
fine. White would be fine.
The world's a very cruel place.
Yes, it is.
Do you know who could have done this to the professor?
No, you?
No.
Oh, is that the doorbell I hear ringing?
The doorbell. I suspect that's a suspector.
Yes, the inspector.
Afternoon, Madam Adler, I presume.
Ouch!
Please call me Irene.
Splendid. How did you know she was Irene Adler?
She's the only woman here.
Oh,
Which means you are Charles Augustus Magnuson.
right again, Mr. Holmes.
This is my assistant, Dr. Watson.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Drink, Mr. Holmes, Dr. Watson?
No. Alcohol clouds the mind, dims the vision, numbs the senses, lowers fatigue, cramps the muscle, thins the bones, and shrinks the brain.
Yes, I'll have one, please.
Good. Charles, would you mind?
Not at all.
let's get right to it. Murder.
Huh? Oh!
Murder!
How did you know it was murder?
Ladies, and gentlemen, I know what it is, but I must find out the how and the why.
And the who.
And the who. Now, give me a moment.
Do make yourself at home, Dr. Watson.
Oh, well, thank you, Miss Adler.
So, Dr. Watson, what makes a good doctor? I've often thought about studying medicine myself.
Ah, excellent question, Charles. It's very simple. Wow! Well, to be a good doctor, one requires a steady hand, a firm grip, a good awareness of your surroundings, and the ability to work under pressure, and most of all, patience.
Thank you, Dr. Watson.
Oh, come on!
Do you see anything, Detective?
My dear, I see everything. That is my curse. Write down these facts, Watson.
Right, of course.
Ready, Watson?
Just a moment, Holmes, as soon as I can locate my... Oh, look, Holmes. Miss Adler here has been kind enough to furnish me with a pen. Carry on.
Do you know how he died?
Indeed.
You can tell this just by looking at the body. How strange.
My dear, life is infinitely stranger than anything which the mind of a man can invent. Now, observe. You see two thumb prints on either side of the larynx. These are the points which the thumbs apply at most pressure. The fingers, however, have their secondary marks on the back and the side and neck. You also know that these marks are not upon the horizontal plane, but directed slightly upwards upon the diagonal. These facts, taken together, indicate to any capable investigator that the person was standing directly in front of the victim and was of small stature.
What are you saying, Detective?
The facts. So perhaps we have the who. Now, we need to know the why. As for the latter part, I have no means of checking, but at least it's not difficult to draw a few conclusions about the motive behind the actions. A woman of your stature has everything to lose and nothing to gain by committing such a crime, which leads me to assume that it is in the losing that's forced your hand quite literally to the murder of Professor Trimori. There can only be one reason for this. And that reason is the reason for the reasoning behind the entire reason. And I have reason to believe in such a reason. And that the reason for this would be...
Blackmail.
Blackmail!
Bravo, Mr. Holmes! That's quite extraordinary.
Thank you. Could I trouble you for a glass of water, please?
Oh, of course. Blackmail, eh? So what will let you do?
Ah, refreshing.
You were saying, Holmes, blackmail?
I was? Oh, yes. It was blackmail.
Yes, sir. Whatever led you to blackmail?
Professor Trimori is a well-known professor in his field of work, mathematics. The fact that he's been lodging here instead of his estate means he's been hiding.
So he feels ashamed?
Exactly. Somebody must have had some kind of dirt on the professor. Something that could ruin his reputation and career.
But why would they kill him? They can't blackmail him if he's dead.
Perhaps they got what they wanted.
Huh. So they tied up a loose end.
But there was only Charles and I in the house.
And what does that tell us?
Mr. Holmes, it sounds like you're accusing me of murder.
Does it?
Yes, it does. How dare you come into her home and accuse her of murder?
Honestly, Mr. Holmes, what's my motive?
Perhaps an affair.
Now you listen here. You could. Whoa! How dare you come into her home and accuse her of an affair with Professor Trimori?
Who said I was accusing her? It doesn't matter what I say, only what I can prove.
So what now, Holmes?
I suggest that you and Charles move the body into the hallway, ready for the coroner.
Yeah, okay. I think I have a stretcher in the garden shed.
That sounds rather convenient.
Maybe you should help him, Watson.
Right. Please, sir, allow me to assist you.
So, Mr. Holmes, is there a Mrs. Holmes?
No, I find a woman to be a distraction. They're neither reasonable nor insightful. They lack a judgment of level-headedness and disconnected from reality.
Wow, you really do know how to sweet-talk a lady.
You don't seem to show much remorse for the professor, Miss Adler.
I hardly knew him.
And yet, you let him stay here.
He's more of a friend of Charles. Really.
Here we are.
All right then, if you can manage the arms, I'll get the legs. And 1, 2, 1, 2. Whoa, 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 whoa! Well, I think the key is to lift with your knees, so... all right, and 1, 2...
Problem, Watson.
Oh! Problem? What problem? There's no problem.
Ouch!
I was merely conducting my own medical examination of the body.
So, how long have you and Charles been seeing each other?
Not long.
I assume since his recent divorce.
Divorce? I don't think he was married.
There's a discoloring on his finger that obviously shows there's a wedding band recently upon it.
Oh, I did not know.
My dear, it is my job to know what other people don't know. It's as they say, elementary.
You were saying, Mr. Holmes?
Come now, Holmes, surely you must have something to say.
Yes,
I think it's best we examine the timeline.
Excellent idea.
And I'll start with you first, Charles.
Good idea.
Mr. Charles, take me through the events of the evening last night. He sits down and smokes his pipe.
Well, Mr. Holmes, I spend most of my nights at the office catching up on work, so I didn't get home until... Oh, till late night.
Interesting. Was Professor Trimori on the couch when you arrived?
No.
Whoa, he's pretty good, huh? I mean, I see long pause. And what time was this?
Oh, around 10:30.
And what about you, Miss Adler?
I wasn't all night. I only popped on in the morning.
When did you notice the professor's body?
Well, usually the maid brings me breakfast, but she's been off in the last few days. So I came down to get some tea myself, and there he was.
He nods his head. What time is this?
Was this?
Was this?
Oh, about 8.
Aha!
As I was saying, about 8 o'clock in the morning, once I saw the professor's cold, dead body. I immediately called Scotland Yard.
Aha! What made you assume he was dead?
Well, I thought...
You didn't think he was just sleeping?
Well, he didn't...
You didn't try to wake him up?
Well,
You didn't think of calling Charles first?
Well...
You didn't think...
Hang on a minute! Let me finish my line! Ugh. I noticed he wasn't breathing.
Why didn't you call
My line. Why didn't you call the police?
I don't know. I panicked.
It sounds to...
my line. It sounds to me, Detective, that she was in shock.
Shocked or not, your response to the situation is certainly telling.
And what is that supposed to mean?
It means crime is common, logic rare. He stands up.
Professor, Charles, how did you...
Not so fast, Detective.
Oh. So, Charles, how did you know the professor?
We were classmates at university.
Huh, and were the two of you close?
We were friends at university. And you never forget a friend that you met at college, so that's why Professor Trimori... Is that his name?
Trimori,
Trimori and I kept in touch after all these years. He then told me he needed a place to stay, so I told him he could stay here.
Shocked or not, your response to the...
Huh?
It means crime is common. Did the professor have any enemies?
Enemies? No, not that I can think of! No, not that I can think of!
How long have you and Miss Adler been seeing one another?
About a year or so. Isn't that right, darling?
Yes, but I don't see what it has to do with the professor's death.
You wouldn't, but a man like myself can find insignificant details to be certainly telling.
Oh, is that the phone I hear ringing? Hello? Yes, of course. Hang on for a moment. Charles, it's for you.
I see. Yes, hello, this is Charles speaking. Oh, no, I won't be able to make it for the appointment tonight. Something's come up. No, something's come down. Something's gone terribly down. I have to do a rain check. I'll give you a call, all right? I'm sorry, old friend. Goodbye. Bye, bye.
So, Miss Adler, what is it you do?
Oh, well, nothing now. But when I was young, I used to be a performer.
Huh. Anything I might have seen?
Oh, that depends. Have you ever seen A Study in the Scarlet?
No, I'm afraid not.
Oh, well, the play only ran for a couple of weeks here in London.
Oh, what theatre was that?
At the very old Duchess Theatre.
Right.
All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players.
Shakespeare.
Oh, bless you.
No, Holmes. She was saying that it was a quote from Shakespeare.
All right, Miss Adler.
Mr. Holmes.
Miss Adler.
Mr. Holmes.
Miss Adler, when was the last time you saw Professor Trimori alive?
That would be yesterday evening.
And you, sir?
I saw him briefly yesterday morning.
And what was the professor doing when you saw him? He walks to the window.
Nothing much, just scribbling numbers in his book.
Did you, short pause, see what numbers those were?
No, I don't remember.
Are you sure he looks into Charles's eyes?
Maybe I saw a 1.
Go on, he stares intensely into eyes.
I think I saw a 3.
Continue, holding his gaze.
And, oh, another 1.
Just as I thought.
What does it mean, Holmes?
What does 1? What does 1? What does 1, 3, 1 mean?
Maybe he's writing a secret code.
Well, mathematicians do have their own language. After all, they...
You were saying, Dr. Watson?
Yes. After all, the professor was unmarried, so his work must have meant everything to him.
Yes, he does spend an awful lot of hours scribbling numbers.
Oh, Charles is right. He would often go days without properly eating.
Huh. So he was a recluse of somewhat. Holmes, what do you think? Holmes, are you there?
I can't read the script.
What?
I can't see the script.
Crap!
Hey guys, I can see the snow's really coming down out there.
Oh, can you, Charles? Can you really see?
I say, do you think anybody will have a torchlight?
Oh, I have one.
Yes, how convenient that you've got a cell phone that's got a flashlight.
Oh, well done, Mr. Holmes.
Yes, because Holmes is nothing short of a pioneer in this 18th century era we live in.
Now, where were we? I think the numbers the professor was writing was nothing more than today's date. 311.
Of course, it's so obvious.
There is nothing more deceptive than an obvious fact.
Perhaps he was writing a diary?
But then the question is, why is he writing a day ahead? Oh no, the battery's dead. Has anyone got a charger?
Hey guys, I can see the snow's really coming down out there.
Is it, Charles? Is it?
Listen, I have an idea. Maybe Mr. Holmes.
Oh, Holmes, thank God. Carry on.
Where are we in the script?
Professor's date.
Yes, why did you think that the professor wrote today's date yesterday, Mr. Holmes? Mr. Holmes?
I suspect the professor was writing a note of some kind.
A suicide note.
Wait, but it wasn't a suicide. Holmes, he was murdered, right?
My dear Watson, murder comes in different forms, disguised, hidden, and masked from the facts. Eliminate the impossible. Whatever remains, however improbable, must be the truth.
It all sounds so confusing.
Mr. Adler, would you kindly show me to where the professor was lodging?
Certainly. Follow. Follow me.
Can I get you a drink, Dr. Watson?
Oh, no, thank you. I must keep my wits about myself. You never know.
So what's it like working with the great Sherlock Holmes?
Oh, I can tell you right now, there's never a dull moment.
Still,
Never a dull moment.
Still, I imagine there must be quite a lot of stress.
Oh, yes, but it's nothing I can't handle. I used to be in the army.
Oh, really? Sorry,
Yeah.
could you pass me that? Yeah. Thank you.
Yes, British Army Medical Corps, Afghanistan.
That must be quite an experience.
Oh, yes. I have seen some things that cannot be unseen.
Really? Like what?
Oh, just horrible. Horrible sights. Things that would make a grown man cry.
Yes, I'm sure.
This really is one of the coldest Novembers we've ever seen in recent years.
Yes, there's certainly a chill in the room.
You think it's going to last very long?
Hopefully not much longer. Would you like a tour?
Oh God, no, I think I've seen enough.
You must have seen all kinds of unusual things in your line of work.
Yes, lots of unusual things.
Please, do tell.
Oh, well, there's nothing quite as disturbing as the sight of a pale and lifeless body.
Yes, I can imagine.
Oh, I'm sure you can. So, tell me, Charles, were you always based here in London?
Yes. I'm afraid I'm not much of a traveling man, as they say. I haven't got the legs for it.
And all of this, were you born into wealth?
Oh, goodness, no. I worked for it. Back when I was younger, I couldn't even afford to feed myself, let alone even clothe myself.
So much has changed since then, I see.
Yes, but now I can dine in the finest restaurants in London and wear the fanciest clothes in London.
So quite the rags to riches story, huh? And how about you and Miss Adler? Where did you meet?
Oh, we met in Whitechapel.
Huh, that's a rather unsavory area.
Yes, she was there doing some charity work, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, and what about you? Why were you there?
Visiting an old friend.
Huh. And this was how long ago?
Oh, about
2 years. 2 years and you never thought of getting married? I say, old chap, you might want to speak up. I can hardly hear you.
We are two free spirits.
Huh, so you value your freedom and enjoy being independent?
Yes, our relationship is very calm and relaxed. I guess you can say that we are two birds of the same feather. We are certainly not chickens when it comes to the adventures of life.
Huh. So I suppose that means you travel a lot? Really, you have nothing more to say on the subject? Well, as long as we're not missing any key plot or story points that might help us all understand more. All right, well, in that case, tell me about Professor Trimori's life. Yes, I can see that.
Unusual up there. How about in here? Ew.
No, Holmes, everything in here is exactly the way it's supposed to be.
Yes, so it would seem. Slowly, clues and deductions are forming together.
What were you gentlemen been up to while we were away?
We were having quite a little chat, haven't we, Dr. Watson?
Indeed.
Oh, Charles, I hope you weren't boring Dr. Watson with your traveling stories again.
Oh, I assure you he didn't.
Not so fast, detective.
So, Charles, when did the professor first contact you about taking a residence here?
About a week ago. He sent a messenger to my office and asked to meet.
Where did you meet?
At a park near the university called the Noisy Speaker.
And what was his reason to ask for a place to stay at your house?
Oh, shit! He said it wasn't safe to stay at his place.
And did he say why?
No?
Strange. You mentioned this, but you never persisted to ask. Why?
The professor was a very private man. Actually, I was pretty surprised that he contacted me because we weren't very close in college. But he was offering some money and I could do with a little bit of cash.
Oh, is that the phone I hear ringing again?
Wake me up. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, I think it is.
Hello. Oh, hang on for a moment. Charles, it's for you again.
Really? Hello, this is Charles speaking. Oh, yes. Oh, sorry. No, I won't be able to make it for that appointment tonight. I'm a bit tied up. Okay. Well, thank you for calling. Goodbye.
Who was that, darling?
Oh, a work colleague, James.
James. But it was a woman's voice I heard on the phone.
Did I say James? I meant Jill. Anyways, back to the case at hand.
What makes you think this isn't part of the case?
What do you mean, Holmes?
I mean, the case isn't just about the professor's death and who had done it, but more the surrounding events.
Please do explain, Detective Holmes.
I'm sorry to say, Miss Adler, but your partner's having an affair.
What?
What? Oh! How dare you!
I dare because it is true.
Now listen here. Oh! Oh!
Slapping me only shows your guilt.
How could you?
Does this make you feel better?
Where's your proof?
Yes, these are just wild accusations.
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 Charles is a womanizer. This is clear from his recent divorce, late nights, and mysterious phone calls.
Is this true?
Of course not. Why are we even entertaining this?
Entertaining.
This whole charade.
Charade.
Of being manipulated.
Manipulated.
At the hands of this tyrant.
Tyrant!
Do you understand me?
Oh, believe me, we're trying.
Your anger only merits my deduction.
I think you have all outstayed. Outstayed. You're welcome.
I'm afraid I cannot leave until the case is complete.
It seems like you've already decided who has killed the professor.
Does it?
Yes, and you're blaming me.
No, I'm simply accusing you of an affair.
Oh.
So you're accusing me of murder.
Perhaps. Perhaps, but the true villain is yet to reveal themselves.
Wait, so you mean there's someone else involved in all of this?
That, my dear Watson, I am certain.
Who?
We have yet to talk about the note left behind.
Ah, the writing on the wall.
Where? Oh, sorry.
As I was saying, the cryptic note left on the dead body.
What is it?
It's not so much what it says in meaning, but what it says in evidence. The paper is typical office stationery, not hard to come by, but certainly needs to come from supplier. Nothing you can just pick up from your general store in London. It is embossed paper, and the writing shows left-handed penmanship.
Left-handed? Charles, you're left-handed, are you not?
But he said I was not the murderer.
I did, and you are not. This left-hand writing is messy, of course. A poor attempt to recreate Charles's penmanship.
So?
So, the note was written by Irene.
I don't understand.
Irene knew about your illicit affair. She saw an opportunity to get back at Charles. So she tried her very best to emulate Charles's handwriting.
Are you saying that Irene murdered the professor and tried to pin it on me?
The latter part of your question is true.
Oh, the plot. Not yet! The plot thickens.
I wonder who could that be?
Oh, just come in!
Morning, everyone. Thank you, Mr. Magna. Ah!
Come in, Inspector. You must be cold. You're all covered in snow.
Good morning, Dr. Watson, Mr. Holmes, and Mr. Magnuson.
It's afternoon, Inspector.
Yes, afternoon.
Inspector.
Irene.
Inspector?
Irene.
Inspector, how can we help you?
I'm here to follow up on the case. Have we had any progress yet, Mr. Holmes?
Plenty.
But how did you manage to get here? I heard most of the streets were covered in mountains of snow.
As you can see, it wasn't easy.
Yes, I can tell from the amount of snow.
Yes, the weather has certainly taken a turn for the worse.
Well, aren't we lucky you arrived just in time, Inspector?
Oh, how so?
Holmes was about to reveal to us the identity of the murderer.
Ah.
Is this true?
I was certainly about to reveal, but what still remains to be seen.
Yes. Before you continue, I must remove this hat of mine. It is absolutely soaking wet with snow.
Yep, you'll catch your death of cold.
Let me take your coat, Inspector.
That will be fantastic, Dr. Watson.
Would you like a drink, Inspector?
Splendid
Sean?
idea, Mrs. Hudson.
Oh, good. Charles, would you mind?
Yeah, sure.
Anyway, you were saying, Watson?
Holmes.
What if I was to tell you that this is not by chance? We all gathered here as part of an elaborate plot.
Plot?
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 Let me ask you this, Inspector. What does every good story need?
Yes, that would be, line.
Every good story needs a villain.
That's right, Mr. Holmes. Every good story needs a villain.
Yes, and a villain can come in many forms. The most common, a bad woman, or...
A bad man.
A Batman.
A bad man.
A bad man.
Yes, and it's in the finding of this baddie.
Who's the baddie?
Who's your daddy?
Who's the baddie?
I have a confession to make to you all.
What is it?
I have been stalling.
Stalling? Stalling for what?
Time, Watson. I've known who the villain of this play crime is since the beginning.
How so?
Ever since I heard the supposed victim's name.
Trimori.
Yes, an unusual name with no common reference. Professor Trimori is not who he appears to be.
Are you saying that the professor is not real?
Oh, he is real, but his name is merely an anagram.
You don't mean?
Yes, my dear Watson. Professor Trimori is in fact Moriarty. Moriarty!
Not so fast, detective.
Professor, you're alive.
How can this be?
Inconceivable.
Oh, you are standing there?
Very clever, Mr. Holmes. I knew you would rise to the occasion.
Do you have a gun?
No. Am I supposed to? He's got one. I'll borrow his.
I invented this farce merely to confuse and keep you exactly where I wanted you.
What one man can invent, another can discover.
You mean to kill Mr. Holmes?
It's all a game, Miss Adler.
A game? What do you mean?
I'm sorry, I didn't see you. You walked into it, man. It's been fun, Holmes, but every story must have an ending, and yours is about to come to a... Sorry, everyone, sorry. Hello? Yeah, I'm a bit busy at the moment. I left it on top of the microwave, next to the monkey clock. Oh, did you look behind it? It might have fallen behind. Okay, you got it? Okay, yep, yeah, sure. Yeah, talk to you later. Love you, bye. Every story must have an ending, and yours is about to come to a close.
What are we going to do?
What is it you want? Money?
Ha! I laugh at money. Ha!
Then what is it you want? The family jewels! Oh!
I don't know what to do.
Just stay calm, Inspector.
But I really don't know what to do.
Professor, what is your motive?
That's private.
Parts!
Surely you can tell us about your...
Nuts!
I'm afraid I never reveal my...
Cherries!
Don't be shy, Moriarty. We have history. After all, we shared...
Nuggets!
On the...
Rocks!
In!
Goalies!
You can't win, Moriarty.
What makes you say that?
His mouth.
No.
It all ends here, Holmes.
Really? Now that Really? Now... Really, now that I've smoked you out, you want to end it with the prime attention of mere violence. I expected more from a mind such as yours.
Don't let my raw actions cloud your judgment. It was always going to come down to this.
What's happening, Charles?
I haven't got the fog. Yes, clue.
What do we do now, Dr. Watson?
Oh, just... There's really nothing we can do, Inspector. In a battle of wits such as this, who remains to be seen to be more capable?
Two great minds locked in battle. This is gonna be quite a sight. Mrs. Hudson! I I mean, I've never seen that woman in my entire life. What can we do for you, stranger?
That's not in the script.
Yeah, no shit, Sherlock.
Come in. It's really cold outside. Come in. It's warm.
Oh look! It's snowing!
Yes, science and reason have completely left the building.
Before you pull the trigger, would you indulge me in a game of deduction?
What are you doing? You shouldn't play games with a game.
Trust me, Miss Adler, the professor won't be able to resist.
I can't resist.
See?
Well, Mr. Holmes?
Very well. There's a dead body found at the bottom of a building. It's very clear that he's committed suicide by jumping off one of the floors. I go to the first floor, open the window, and flip a coin to the floor. I go to the second floor, open another window, and flip another coin. I do this until the very last floor. I conclude that it was murder. How do I know this?
Simple. I must assume that the body landed headfirst for you to come to this deduction, meaning somebody pushed them out the window. With the body projectile, it would have landed at the right angle.
Huh. Professor's really a professor, huh? Shut up. All right.
Very impressive. But there's a more logical conclusion. If the person had committed suicide, then why were all the windows closed?
Bravo, Mr. Holmes.
The gun.
Good idea.
No, that's your line.
Oh, quick, grab the gun.
You're supposed to say it to me, not him.
Then go and grab it.
Improvise.
What?
Oh my god, this is happening. Oh my god, this is actually happening.
Come on, Mr. Holmes!
Oh god, you're improving too. Why?
All right, Moriarty, let's go.
What the hell are you cheering him on for?
I don't know. I'm so confused.
Hey guys, I can see the snow's really coming down out there.
Wait, where are we in the script?
Who cares? Who cares? I used to be Hamlet. I used to play Hamlet at the Globe.
Hey guys, I can see the snow's really coming down out there.
Shut up!
And scene.